I think the use case is actually one of the things that we've been talking about also in AgriFin. When we, look at the work some of our partners are doing when they're developing their solutions, sometimes they're like, we have data. I'm like, okay, what do you want to do with it? So it's the same thing. It applies even when you are developing these AI solutions.
Does everybody remember blockchain? Every proposal we saw for a certain period of time included blockchain. Whether blockchain was really needed or not was another question. And that often was the first question I would ask is, could you just do this with a database? The last 10 years, there's been about 1.5 billion raised by around 750 ag tech companies, yet we still only see about 10% of adoption happening in many countries. And so clearly we have a problem with solving for this adoption issue. Hopefully, actually AI can help there. I think that really is a genuine opportunity where large language models, the ability to understand many languages, we're making some investments in language technology. If we can cover 50 languages in sub-Saharan Africa, that could reach 1 billion people.
So the foundation has come up with something called the ASIF, but it's a way for how to really change the investment landscape and focus on women-led incubators. And I've seen that model replicated. We worked with the FTC, that's a neutral, trusted body that can work on data that can be representative for women and youth issues, and integrating to that.
I would challenge everyone in the audience today to at least give a chance to the young innovators that are working on different technologies, so that we can be able to move out of that pilot fatigue and actually get the solutions into the live market.
The talent needs the market to be able to absorb, because there's nothing as heartbreaking as building something and people are not using it. I saw an article yesterday where somebody was saying, I had 10,000 users of my product, but 0 customers. People want to see reward of their work, especially these young developers, the Gen Zs and Alphas who are now building. Alphas are coming quickly, and they're building applications. How do we enable them to find reward of their work so that we remove the pilot fatigue? I call it pilotosis, yeah? But also, most importantly, show that Africa is a market, that Africa can consume our own products. How do you motivate? And I'm sad we don't, Siaka, there's no government people here. I'm sad that there are no government people. How do we motivate government to start consuming our developers and innovators' production? And that is if we start doing it. Then there is a push and there's stress on the government saying if people are using those ones, they are good enough to be able to build for us. They don't have to go to Asia or Eastern Europe to be able to do it. And for me, that is this thing. We can't say it's one over the other. We need talent, we need compute, and we need the data sets for it to be work. But most importantly, we need the market. Go and train your people what AI is about.
Thinking about equitable access to these technologies, whether that's from the sort of developer side or from the end user side, I think that's super important. There was a great quote, I forget who it actually was, it may have been the Minister for ICT in Rwanda at the AI Summit back in April. And she said, let's make sure that in Africa, AI doesn't stand for advancing inequality, that it's, advancing inclusion. So that's what I hope startups will take away from this.